Pagka ikaw ay nakakuha ka ng Pinoy na talagang matino, ay ilalaban ka niyan kahit basagan ng itlog. Puwede lang bang gusto ko lang maging mag-isa. Pag nakita ka ng darumadal with two eyes na black, meaning natupad yung wish mo. But the first thing na nagustuhan ko noon was when I saw the billboard that I did in Zigzayed. Like I was asking myself, why do I have to go back? Financially, oo, like para itong kaya pati pamato and pamanggulo, lahat nandun.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of Lumi Next Level Podcast. It's a show where we highlight and champion the thriving Pinoys of Dubai. Dito natin sila kikilalanin, isa-celebrate at pagkukuhaan ng inspiration and life lessons because why not, di ba? This is another special episode. We've got an amazing guest who will give us insights on life as an OFW, transitioning into a business owner, and building on success with more success. Pero bago ko siya ipakilala sa inyo, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe and leave a comment. That will help us a lot. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, please do rate the podcast and leave a review. And if ikaw naman ay nasa Spotify, do the same. No? That will help us grow this podcast even more para mas marami siyang ma-reach na mga Pilipino. And with that being said, let's bring it.
You're listening to My Next Level Podcast.
Our guest today, tulad ng sinabi ko, is currently a business owner. He has, I think, a couple of restaurants already dito sa UAE.
No, this is one.
He is a long-time OFW, a very busy man, kaya we are so privileged to have him here and have a conversation with him, pick his brain, and know his story, and find bits of knowledge and inspiration. Ang tinutukoy ko, walang iba kung hindi si Nico de Guzman. How are you, Nico? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
How do you feel ngayon? Ha? Sabi kasi ni wife mo, this is your first time
Yes.
na magkaroon ng one-on-one.
I don't know. I feel, yes, definitely privileged. Pero nahihiya ako kasi, to be honest, I don't feel that I'm there yet. I am still learning. I am still, there are struggles. There are, lessons to learn. But being here is that even me, hindi ako makapaniwala kasi nahihiya pa din ako na
To represent?
Yes, to represent the when they said successful businessman. I do feel that yes, I have some success. But I'm still not there yet,
Okay. This episode kasi is about levels to life, di ba? Nasasabi natin, di ba, Lumi Next Level Podcast, you start off with a certain level in life, you aspire to get to the next level, and then you go to the level after that. You aspire again, no? Life doesn't stop. You go from one level to the next. So dito, explore natin yung iba't ibang levels ng buhay ni Nico de Guzman. Pero bago yon, for the people who are listening, no, na hindi nanonood sa YouTube, can you describe where we are at the moment?
So right now we are in our restaurant, which is Ichiri Ramen House. I am a co-owner with my two brothers. I am the chief design officer, which is I designed the whole place. If you can see it, basically it's my playground, as a lot of them says, because lahat ng nandito is my collections, my love that represents, yung love ko for Japan. All the things that you see here is from Japan, originally from Japan. I have my manga collections, I have my anime collections. I grew up in an anime culture since I was very young.
Ramdam ko yan. Kasi pagdating ko dito, ang tumutunog na music yung theme song ng Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes.
Ghost Fighter, no?
Yes, so Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my...
So this is just not a business for you, it's an extension of who you are.
Yes. Yeah.
It's an expression of Nico's personality.
Correct.
Okay. And gaano katagal ka na dito sa UAE?
I've been here for 16 years. I arrived here around when I was 25 years old.
25 years
Yes.
old. So, let's do the math. Joke lang.
Yeah, so I was here 25 years old. That was 2007. So right now I am turning 42
Yeah.
this April. So yeah, 16 years.
And ever since, pagdating mo dito, ang goal mo kagad mag-business?
No.
Okay.
No, eventually ko lang na-realize yun. When I was here nung dumating ako dito is that the usual, we need to find a job, a good job, and then that's it.
So, a typical, like, OFW, like, so, punta ka dito, nagbabaka sakali to find a job.
Yes.
Wala ka pang work.
That time, no, wala.
Ah.
The usual, visit visa, then, you take your chance.
So just like majority of the
Yes.
OFWs in Dubai, bago ka magka-business, you just came here, nagbabaka sakali, makahanap ng trabaho ha?
Yes.
Trabaho pala.
Mhm.
And what type of job ang nakuha mo dito?
That is, yun naman, naging swerte ako. No, I don't know. I think it's not swerte, but, first job ko was already designing.
Designing,
graphic design.
graphic design.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first job was for a football card company, which is what they do is they do collectible cards for football.
Dito yan sa
Dito na sa UAE.
Okay.
Yun ang first job ko.
Okay.
But weird part nun is that I don't know football.
You don't know.
First is I'm not a sports guy. And usually back home, what we know is billiards, boxing, and basketball.
Correct.
And not football.
Football, wala masyado pa nun, no?
No, zero.
Oh, wala pang ASCALs nun eh.
Wala pa.
Okay.
During that time, wala pa. Like zero knowledge ako when it comes to football. But then again, eventually, natutunan ko na, sila Messi, sila Ronaldo, teams, ano ang national team, ano ang league.
Bakit Dubai? Curious.
First, it was my uncle. My uncle was here. Kinuha niya yung kapatid ko. Then, dapat noon actually, sabay kami ng kapatid ko. Nag-resign na ako sa job ko. Sabi ko, punta na ako ng Dubai. But
Saan yan? Sa
Pinas,
Pilipinas?
yeah. And then, we realized na hindi magandang strategy ang sabay kaming walang trabaho, sabay kaming walang ano. So, nauna siya 1 year. Sabi ko, sige, sasabihin ko na lang muna sa trabaho ko. Joke lang yung resign ko. Buti naman, tinanggap ako pabalik.
Okay.
Tapos nauna siya ng 1
Wala
year.
siya.
And then, after a year, sumunod din ako.
And then, yun nga, naghanap ka ng work dito. Anong first impression mo sa UAE? Is this something na, okay, nagpunta ako sa UAE, ganda dito I think I'll stay here for 16 years.
No. Actually, during the first years is meron pa yung mga I think the hardest moment ko was yung after ng first vacation ko going back. Like I was asking myself, why do I have to go back? I don't wanna go back. Ganon. Like I was crying literally in the airport.
Yeah. Kasi ayaw mo nang bumalik ng
Ayoko. Hindi naman, not because I don't like Dubai. It's just that I have my home. I have Philippines. I love Philippines. So why do I have to go there?
And then being so far away from home,
Yeah.
from friends, from family.
Friends, family.
Yung kalaban ng OFW talaga, no?
Yes,
Homesickness.
homesick, yeah. And it took me a while para yung heart ko and mind ko is masettle sa Dubai.
Okay. Talaga.
I think took me 3 to 4 years bago ko na-realize o tinanggap sa sarili ko na this is it. Like, eto na yung.
Anong point mo na-realize na nag-decide, yun 3 to 5 years in sinabi mo sa sarili mo na okay, that's it, I'm here for the long haul, ganon?
Yeah, kasi din yung job ko was I think yung first job ko was I was there for like 1.5 year. So I wasn't enjoying it. I love designing, but since I don't know football, so I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I want to. So kaya din I think matagal ang transition ko kasi I was doing something I love but I don't know much. So hindi ako nag-e-enjoy as much as I would love to enjoy. But then again, after that job, I went to an agency.
Ad agency?
Experiential agency. Well, before it was more ad agency, and then we turned into experiential agency. Same job.
Okay.
I was there for 14 years.
Okay. So after that first job, you found another one.
Yes.
Tapos 14 years ka na doon.
Yes.
What did you love about that job that made you stay?
Well, first, I was a graphic designer on that job. But during that time is that it wasn't more creative job. Kasi what we do is ad agency and then there are a lot of global assets that we do. So basically, we're just localizing it for the UAE market. So there is not much to do when it comes to creativity.
Kasi nandun na, ready na yung
Yes,
assets.
ready na. So I just have
localize
to-
nyo na lang.
Correct. So I just have to do Arabic version. During that time is a lot of ATL, so above the line. So newspaper, magazines, billboard. But the first thing na nagustuhan ko noon was when I saw the billboard that I did, even if it was like adaptation lang in Sheikh Zayed.
Wow.
I was like, I think this is it. The first time na naman din ng job ko sa Pinas is that nung nakita ko yung billboard ko is sa North EDSA.
Sa EDSA.
I had the same feeling when I saw the first billboard that I did in Sheikh Zayed. So like, the goosebumps.
International
Yeah, like, Mom, I made it. Kind of,
Oo, so na-enjoy mo siya.
Na-enjoy ko siya. And then eventually, na-bored ako sa graphic designing kasi nga wala masyadong creativity part na on my side. So I turned into 3D. So sabi ko I needed more. I need something more challenging.
So it's just born out of your desire to express your creativity, gano'n?
Yeah.
Andun talaga yun? Andun yung side?
Yeah, since I was really young. My course I graduated as banking and finance. And I have always wanted to be a fine arts, but during that time, old times, my father always tell me, walang pera dyan,
Okay.
wala kang etc. etc. So, and we weren't really, have much that money during that time. So, ang choice ko lang noon is to be in a business school because I was a scholar of Rotary Club.
Okay.
So I was a scholar in PSBA Manila. And PSBA Manila, the only course that they have is business school. But initially, my father wanted me to be a lawyer, accountant lawyer to be exact.
Okay. Wow.
Then I tried to do accountancy. Hindi hindi.
So kahit hindi ka umalis ng Pilipinas, you're gonna be pretty much set, di ba?
No, actually hindi din kasi
Banking and finance?
well actually after ko mag-graduate ng banking and finance, I didn't even know how to open an account in bank. Like ang medyo sad kasi sa Pinas pag hindi ka graduate, medyo mahirap ka maghanap ng trabaho.
Correct.
Even kahit na anong graduate mo, kailangan graduate ka ng 4 years.
Correct.
So yun lang yung only reason ko why I had to took banking kasi yun lang yung course na meron na feeling ko just to get by tapos makagraduate ako and then done. Kasi my heart is always talaga sa designing.
Okay. So doon ang galing yung yung work mo dito. Talagang into design ka.
Yeah, into design, like college pa lang ako.
So 14 years, would you say na stable ka?
Yeah, yes, until na-realize ko naman yun. I think it took me a while then nung na-realize ko na
Money's good?
money is good. And not just the money, is yung masaya ako sa ginagawa ko.
Wow, okay. Ang
And-
gusto ko yun
Yeah, I
Not
think
just the money, mas masaya ka sa
it's the other way around. I did designing and I think I was one of the fortunate ones na you love what you do and then you earn doing what you love.
Sarap nun. Oh, ang
Yeah.
sarap nun pag that's the next level. Oh. Kasi some people, 'di ba? Kung halimbawa tayo sa Pinas, 'di ba? Even me, sometimes I feel na you do your work and then your work will enable you to do the things that you want to do. It's
Correct.
very rare or it's very difficult to merge the two together.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that time you found the right spot. Parang,
Yeah, that's
ba't ka umalis?
sa-
ba't ka nag-business? What made you
No, so ako naman, I think sa aming magkakapatid, ako na yung lucky in a way na natama yung edad ko. Kasi when I was 25, nag-set naman ako ng goals. My goal was, sabi ko sa sarili ko, 25, tapos na ako sa crazy age ko, like 20 to 25, yun yung nalasing ka, nakauwi ka sa bahay, hindi mo alam bakit ka umuwi, paano ka nakauwi. Then sabi ko by 25, I need to be serious. Sabi ko, at
by
least,
25?
yeah, 25, serious na ako noon, nung nandito ako.
My gosh, okay.
Sabi ko, when I reach 30, I need to find yung stable na gagawin ko. I need to find that. And I was lucky. Kasi nakuha ko yung gusto ko by 30, which is nasa experiential agency ako and I was doing 3D. Which is yun yung passion na nakita ko. Kasi I
Yeah.
create things, I create environments.
Yeah.
Napakalawak nung pwede kong gawin. So sabi ko by 30s, kailangan kong makita ko na yung gusto ko. And then I am putting 10 years of my life to do that.
Okay.
And then sabi ko by 40s, kailangan na nasa directorial job na ako. And then kasi after 40s, dun ko plinano, gusto ko, it's gonna be another level na. So it's either I stay on what I do or I'll do business.
So at which point mo nasabi sa sarili mo na ito yung plan ko for that, na by that age I need to be a director or kailangan ko
I think
was that early on or
I think nung 30 ako na nakita ko na this is what I wanna do.
okay.
This is what I love to do and I think I am ready to do this for the next 10 years of my life. Doon ko na-realize and then sabi ko by 40s kailangan it's either my concern kasi noon is 40 na-reach ko naman yung goal ko but I feel stagnant na, like medyo wala nang challenge parang gusto ko na ng another level. That's why then sabi ko, I think I'm gonna do business.
Pero some people would be happy with the stability. Hindi mo ba, alam mo yun, sige, wala kang, you're there, but you're stable. Hindi ba siya,
Di eh, kasi money-wise, it is, wala akong masabi money-wise pagdating doon. I mean, directorial job, nandito ka sa level na to, and since 14 years ako doon sa job na yun, medyo kaming tatlo kami doon. Isa yung kapatid ko, nakasama ko dito.
kasama mo ko.
Kasama ko sa company, and then may isa pa kaming kapatid sa labas. Nandun kami for 14 years. So, job, money, stable, pioneers kami. So, medyo, alam mo yun, yung untouchable ka.
Yeah,
Kasi we built that company.
na-prove mo na yung
Okay
sarili
na
mo
eh.
eh. Oh.
Okay na kami. To be honest, okay na talaga. Pero kasi, for me kasi, it was never about the money. It was more about yung passion ko and then yung challenges.
Okay.
Kasi ako, I believe, without the challenges, without the problems, without the sakit ng ulo and problem solving,
Hindi ka mag-grow.
hindi ako mag-grow eh. Like doon, hindi ko naman sinasabi na alam ko naman na lahat yung in and out ng job. It's just that I needed more. Sabi ko, I needed more challenge. I think next level. And then, I don't wanna die asking myself, what if I did the business? Will I gonna be successful or not? Ayoko ng what if eh. So, then I decided. It was actually, the Pinas yun. Pinas, dapat sa Pinas ako talaga magbi-business, not here.
That's one of my questions actually. Pupunta tayo dyan.
Yun.
So, punta na tayo sa next level, no? From looking for work, finding a job, and then finding a job na you love and that pays well. You founded, actually, you've built one of the more highly rated
Thank you.
ramen places dito sa UAE. But ang question ko is, why? Coming from a place of comfort, coming from a place of stability, coming from a place of doing what you love, how did you decide na, okay, I'll go for business? And what ended up to become Ichiryu?
During nung nandito ako, nag-business din kami ni Esme ng misis ko, but it didn't work. So nag-fail din, natalo kami for a good amount of money, pero
So this is not your first business?
no. So we were here both, and then we did the business back home. Hindi nag-pan out. So ang short story nung business na to is that I was supposed to go home. We decided. So si Esme nauna na siya, 2 years na siya sa Pilipinas.
Oh.
Sabi ko, I think this is the time na ako na ang uuwi naman. Kasi most of her, like, give up niya yung part niya. Kasi she was doing well back home. Like, really, really well. Na even hindi na ako mag-work, we can do that.
Survive.
Pero, kaso kasi hindi rin ako nasanay ng doing nothing. So, sabi ko sa kanya, decide kami na uwi na ako. Ako naman, dyan naman tayo ngayon. I'll do the business, you'll do the corporate part. Kaso 1 month before me going home, dumating tong si kuya, si chef na kuya ko.
Si Chef yung na-meet
Yes.
natin kanina.
Correct.
Shoutout mo naman. Ano name siya?
Si Chef Toro, ang aking kapatid na dahilan kung bakit nandito ngayon. Ako, nandito ang Chili Ramen House. So, nagkukwentuhan kami tatlo, dumating siya. Hinatid lang actually niya yung mommy namin. Kasi mommy namin, she's a bit old. Hindi na makapag-travel alone. So, hinatid niya. And then, 1 month bago ko umuwi, sabi niya, kwentuhan kami, kumakain kami ng ramen somewhere. Tapos sabi
Pwede ba
No, hindi pwede. Kasi dito dahil sa susunod na sasabihin ko, sabi namin, sarap no? Sabi nung kapatid ko na yun, sabi niya, sarap pa ramen ko dyan. So then challenge namin siya, di kumain tayong ramen
talaga?
sa bahay.
Okay.
And then gumawa naman siya, sabi ko, nga masarap. So, you know what? Gusto mag-business dito. Then, yun, long story short, second love ko kasi, apart dun sa what I do, is Japan. I love Japan so much na I grew up in not Japan culture kasi yung daddy ko kasi or yung daddy namin is nag-work sa Japan for 10 years. So
10
me
years.
growing up, like 7 years old, marunong na ako mag-chopsticks. Nakaya ko nang pulutin ng munggo.
Okay. So very exposed to the culture.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Lagi niya kami kinukwentuhan how beautiful Japan is, yung people, yung discipline, yung passion. So ako naman, sobrang curious ako kasi batang-bata pa ako noon eh. And then, sa Pinas, marami tayong anime.
Yeah.
So, apart dun sa anime na Japanese and then yung feed sa akin ng daddy ko, kaya nabuo yung pagmamahal ko sa Japan. So, kaya din, siya din naman, yung si chef naman, lumaki kasi sa Japan yun. So, exchange student siya, doon siya tumira for 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah, 16.
As an exchange student?
Hindi. So, nag-start siya as an exchange student, tapos
Nag-decide siya
na-hire
mag-stay.
siya. Oo, gusto mahal din niya ang Japan eh. So, na-hire siya, na-absorb siya ng isang company. Electrical siya actually. He started as electrical engineer.
Electrical
Or
engineer.
engineering. Basta anything that...
Tapos natuto siyang gumawa ng
Yes.
ramen sa Japan.
Ang ano naman niya is that, ang story niya is that bago siya pumunta ng Japan, when he was 16 years old, meron siya natikman na ramen sa Pinas.
Okay.
And then sabi niya, balang araw magkakaroon ako ng ramen shop. Doon pa lang, 16 pa lang siya, alam niya ng pangarap niya. Gusto niya ng ramen shop.
Okay, so now I have one brother wanting to start a business. I have another brother wanting to start something na related sa Japan na ramen shop. Ano si other brother?
Si other brother, siya ang siya yung missing link sa amin kasi I do the design, anything na design lang. Si chef naman is anything that's food. Ang missing link namin is how do we do this, how to operate this, how
Operational, ganyan.
operational, like how's this gonna work? Hindi naman pwedeng marunong lang ako mag-design,
Correct.
siya marunong lang mag-food. Ito yung ito yung kung sa banda siya yung basis kasi siya yung magbubuo ng dalawa. So siya yung missing link namin.
How to turn yung gifts nyo into a business. Something
Correct,
that
into
generates-
actual something. Although si chef kasi
So he does the boring part. But the
Yes.
most, but the finance part, siya yung nag-build ng
yes,
structure.
siya yung anything that is operational. Hindi pa actually finance kasi si finance yun yung kapatid naman namin sa labas.
Meron pang isa.
Kitawag namin siya kapatid sa labas kasi tatlo kami sa company dati for 14 years. Siya yung finance no.
Siya yung finance.
Na sobrang tagal na namin magkasama. So tinanggap na namin siya as kapatid.
Pero alam mo, in my experience, yung mga ganyan, hindi ko, I'm not saying it might apply to you, pero in my experience, minsan, doon nagkakaroon ng clash kasi yung creativity and passion on one side versus, hey, we have to start this business. Kailangan, we have to do it a certain way. It has to be profitable.
Yes.
It has to be below budget.
Correct.
And it has to follow rules. Parang ganyan.
Yes. Oo naman, meron yun.
So, balance in the thing.
Balance kasi in the sense na kung ito ang turf mo, food ka, bahala ka dyan. Like, meron kaming few questions, pero once na nasagot mo yun, kung gusto mo yan yung gagawin natin. Walang kontra. Same din naman sa design. Wala kaming kontrahan kasi ito yung amin eh. Like, pinagkatiwala namin sa isa't isa na sa yung operation, pag sinabi mong ganito gagawin. Pero meron kaming part ng collaboration like nung initial design ito, sabi nila, hindi dito mag-a-apply dito kasi ganito for some reason, etc. So, nag-a-adapt naman. Pero pagdating sa strict part na design, this is mine. So, I do what I do best. Same din sa'yo. Kaya bihira yung clash namin.
Okay. So, hindi.
Because of that. Siguro, ang clash kasi is normal na sa amin. So,
Yeah,
bilang
kayo eh.
magkakapito.
And you recover fast. Pero balik tayo sa kwento, no? Kasi,
Wala
so sabi mo, sabi ni Kuya, Kuya mo ba?
Kuya.
Sabi ni Kuya, mas masarap pa ramen ko dito eh. Tapos sabi nyo, sige nga, gawa ka.
Yes, gumawa
So
siya.
uwi kayo. Tapos, how did that bowl of ramen turn into Ichiryu? Ano naging next step?
Ang next step, alam mo yung pagkakumain ka ng nagbukas ang langit, bumaba ang anghel, sumasayaw, at ganun. Kaya din,
Parang revelation yun.
Yes.
Okay.
Kaya nung time na yon sabi namin, you know what, since ako, uwi na rin naman ako, why not do the business? Let's do business here. Open up pa ramen. Shop. Ang ano lang niya, ang challenge niya, kasi back home meron na siyang 10 restaurants.
Okay.
Ang
10
naging-
restaurants?
10, yeah. 10 ramen shop.
Okay.
I mean, meron siyang 10 branches ng kanyang ramen shop niya na back home. Ang naging problem nun is, or naging challenge niya more is that yung broth niya is pork-based back home.
No, which is haram.
Correct. Which is here, it has to be chicken. So yun ang pinaka naging challenge namin actually. How
Okay.
to, although meron siyang 8 years niyang pinag-aralan how to create a chicken broth. You know, yung broth na meron siya ngayon.
8 years.
It took him 8 years to do that.
Wow.
It's easier to do, sabi niya, pork broth than a chicken broth. It's easier ang pork. Then, so kumain kami kung alam mo lang gano'ng kadaming ramen ang tinikman namin, lahat ng tindahan ng ramen niya.
Research, no?
Oo. Yun na yung time na nag-research na kami.
Okay.
You know what, let's do this, give it, bago siya, meron kaming 1 month, kasi 1 month bago siya. So, meron kaming 1 month to do our research, if feasible ba to. Then, long story short, nakita naman namin yung feasibility niya okay naman, kasi to be honest, ang ramen market sa Dubai is still virgin. Compare sa Pinas, like in SM, meron kang 5-6 na ramen shops.
Oo, actually, oo.
Paglabas mo pa ng SM sa tabi-tabi, meron din ramen shop.
Totoo.
At kahit saan. And here,
Wala pa.
exactly. Meron, pero sobrang konti.
Yes.
So nakita namin yung potential niya. So, you know what? Let's do this. And then, first, hanap ng pwesto, etc. Hindi mahirap maghanap ng pwesto kasi nga, meron kang budget, meron kang...
So, nagsama-sama kayo ng resources niyo, financially.
Financially, oo. Like, para itong pati pamato and pamanggulo, lahat nandun. So,
Okay.
yun na yung leap of faith mo na this is it. Kailangan yung bang eggs mo nilagay mo sa basket na to. I sure hindi siya ganun ganda kasi you never put all your eggs in one basket pero well during that time we didn't have much eggs eh. So eto lang yung meron kami. So you know what? Lagay natin dito and then
Ma-advise mo ba yan? Like someone starting a business? Siyempre hindi, no? Don't put your eggs in one.
hindi siya I mean hindi nagwo-work kasi sa lahat yung sitwasyon pero hindi talaga din magandang ilagay mo.
At the same time, meron kang meron kang gut feel. If you really believe in something, you're willing to risk it. Siguro at that time, pwede mong gawin yun.
Yeah, and ang best part kasi doon is that magkakapatid kasi kami. So at least kung meron mang hindi mag-workout, at sabay-sabay kami kakamot ng ulo, sabay-sabay kami gigising sa umaga, ang almusal namin hilamos.
Kadugo pa rin tayo eh.
Exactly. So kaya ito yung malaking factor yung part na yun.
Okay,
Pero yeah, never. At saka sa amin naman din kasi since yung wife ko is may corporate side pa siya.
Yun yung plan B.
Oo, or if in case hindi to mag-workout, meron pa rin kaming fixed income. At least hindi pa rin kami magdidil-dil ng asin. At least
So hindi
yun
zero.
mantika. Yeah.
May plan B. Pero mahihirapan. It's significant.
Yes, oo,
It's
kasi-
gonna hurt.
Correct. Like 14 years, gratuity, lahat ng bonus, nandun na.
Oh,
So,
ganun kalaki
yeah.
yung sino ganun.
Ay, yes. Medyo malaki.
Talaga. So how nervous were you na ano ba, mas excited o mas takot?
No, I think it's more excited kasi yung part ng yung nervous namin kung gagana ba to or hindi is lesser na yun. Kasi talaga naniwala kami. We really believe na no, this is gonna work. Like hindi namin makita yung way para it's not gonna work.
Gano'n ka-importante yung support ni wife?
Ay malaki. Yung partner so malaki.
If she said no, gagawin mo?
Being me, matigas ang ulo ko, yes, gagawin ko pa din. Pero kasi iba yung
Well, at least honest ka.
iba kasi yung meron kang blessing mo. Mas magaan.
Mas magaan.
Like imagine mo uwi ka sa bahay, eto na yung may zen area mo, tapos pagkagalitan ka pa kasi yun, sabi ko kasi hindi ka na, pero alam mo yun, pero kasi siya hindi.
Okay.
So iba ang may blessing na.
So now, nag-start na kayo. Tell us what Ichiryu is, yung concept mo ng ramen. It's not just a ramen shop eh. Kasi,
No, it's not. So ang concept niya is that basically what we are selling is more than food. Base kasi sa experience ko, experiential agency is that we sell also experience, not just the food itself. The food makes you stay. But
Okay.
what attracts you first is the experience and the design. Lahat ng corner kasi dito is pinag-isipan, lahat is sukat.
May purpose.
May purpose, hindi lang siya basta cute. Yun naman ang
Hindi siya
yun ang
basta
natutunan ko sa job ko dati. Hindi pwedeng aesthetically good lang. Kailangan it has a purpose, it has a story, it has a meaning, para pagka meron ka pagpasok pa lang ng customers mo, meron ka na maikikwento agad.
It tells a story, kumbaga.
Correct, yeah. Ito kasi may journey to itong design na to. First is that we have this solo dining, which is heavily inspired in Japan. Na first in UAE. Yung solo dining is yun yung
Walang kakausap sa'yo.
wala. Pang amin, pang-impatang pang atin,
Pang-introvert.
Yes, walang kakausap sa'yo. So food is coming directly from the kitchen, walang literal, meron ka lang paper to order, and then that's it. You enjoy eating I think at this ito yung medyo kulang na sa atin ngayon. Yung enjoy the meal alone kasi minsan na-miss natin yun eh. Ako personally na-miss ko yun eh. Yung hindi naman kailangang lahat nakikita lagi ng iba. Like just me and the food and then my zen moment na wala akong ibang isipin kundi sarili ko lang.
And that's very unique in Japan. Sa Japan ko nga lang din nakita yung restaurant na kahit yung mga servers, hindi ka kakausapin. Parang papel lang, check ka lang,
Yes.
abot mo, tapos bibigay sa yung...
Minsan nga vending machine eh.
Yes, minsan
Yes.
vending machine, iaabot mo lang.
Correct, maraming
Oo,
vending
just to mind your own business.
Correct. I think yun naman yung isa sa bagay na gusto ko sa culture nila. Like, pwede kang, hindi naman sa walang pakialaman, it's just that kung happy ka, congratulations. Ganun. Hindi masyadong, ay bakit si ganito, ganyan, anong ginagawa mo? Especially nowadays, pag nakakita lang sila na someone na kumakain mag-isa, isipin na nila, may problema ba si kuya?
Oh, ngayon,
Hindi ba?
nagiging viral. Nagiging viral.
Oo, correct. Like, hindi ba siya
Gusto ko siyang yakapin, gusto ko siya ilibre, mag-isa siya, parang ganun, no? Pero there's beauty in
Ay, oo
being
naman.
there's beauty
Siguro,
in quiet.
siguro, sa mga introvert, naiintindihan nila yun. Kasi minsan talaga, masarap lang yung ikaw lang. And then,
And to be honest, walang ganyan dito sa UAE, kailangan nagdala nun eh. No? So a portion of your restaurant is dedicated towards, ang tawag mo, solo dining.
solo dining.
Solo
We call
dining.
it bochiseki.
Dochi Seki.
Yeah. Ang meaning niya, lonely seat actually. Ang literal meaning niya in English.
Lonely sit.
But you don't have to be lonely para nandun ka. Alam mo, pwede bang pwede lang bang gusto ko lang maging mag-isa?
Or it's a different dining experience.
Yes.
Kasi kahit people who are, kunwari, tatlo kayong pupunta dito, prefer niya pa rin na-experience
Oo,
yun eh.
meron nga, nag-book, 8 kasi yung sitting doon eh. Lahat sila nandun.
Actually, kami ng wife ko, pagdating namin, kasi we visited this restaurant before, yun yung gusto namin itry. So, couple kami pero gusto namin kumain na magkahiwalay. So, it's a very new concept na kayo nga yung nag-introduce dito. So,
Yes, yun
that was
naman.
very smart. So, apart from that, that's a portion of the restaurant. Ano pa yung masasabi mo?
Itong buong restaurant na to is inspired in Tokyo. So, pagpasok mo pa lang, that area is inspired around Shibuya. Kaya nandun yung solo dining. Then when you enter the other part of the restaurant is that merong part doon is inspired naman ng Akihabara. Which is ito yung anime
Toy.
part. Yes. Kung nasan yung
Kaya nandito si Ganda.
Correct, kaya si Ganda.
Okay.
And then half part nung second part nung area na yun was inspired by UN Park, which is sikat na park sa Japan.
Okay.
So yun yung story na meron kami na hindi lang siya basta, alam mo yun, sige lagyan natin ng ganito kasi cute kasi maganda.
Talagang pinag-isipan,
Yeah.
may essence, may purpose. Ay, isang prominent na feature dito sa restaurant nyo is itong Daruma Dal.
Ay.
Ang dami ko nakikita sa isang shelf. Tapos meron sa likod natin, napakalaki. It's a central feature of the restaurant. What is it about?
Everything is started kasi with the Rumadal eh. Kaya yan ang namin, kaya yan ang main, I don't know, what you call it, like mascot or yan yung pinaka-significant part namin kasi everything is started in the Rumadal. We were in a global village with my wife and then I saw this the Rumadal. I was so fascinated. I have always wanted to have the Rumadal back in Japan kaso for some reason I don't know bakit hindi ako nakabili. Nakabili pa ako sa global village. So, doon nakabili ako, then pinakita ko sa the first wish, ang Darumadal kasi sa kanila is that marireceive mo siya with blank eyes.
Blanco yung eyes.
Blanco yung eyes, so like white eyes lang. You have to make a wish, and then once meron ka ng wish, you color the one eye, and then if that wish comes true, color the other eye. So, pag nakita ka ng Darumadal, with 2 eyes na black, meaning natupad yung wish mo.
Oh, so it's a cause for celebration.
Yes. So ang first wish nung Darumadal na yun na I got from Global Village was to build a business.
So colored na siya.
Yes, in that Darumadal is colored.
Nakikita ko yung, kaya pala ang dami dito sa shelf nyo, yung Daruma Dal nyo, kulang ng isa,
Yes, kulang. So ito naman kasing wall na to is yung mga celebrities na dumalaw sa amin.
Okay.
Meron silang part of them is here para din pagka natupad yung wish nila is that they have to come back. To color the other eye. Ito yung parang wall of fame namin or treasured box namin. Nandiyan din kami. Meron din kaming Darumadal dyan.
Very aspirational. Tama ka, no? Hindi ka pupunta dito just for, fine, you come here for the food, but the experience.
Yes.
You sit here, you look at the Daruma Dal, and then pag naintindihan mo yung concept, you start thinking about your goals, your wishes in life, and then you start, parang nagkakaroon ka ng aspiration na kulayan.
Kulayan yan. So eto kasi, meron yan, kaya one eye yan, merong wish yan. Ang may wish kami dyan, personal, and then wish namin din tatlo. Ito yung next goal ko kasi. Meron kaming project na gusto na pangarap. Sabi ko, before, sasabi ko sa kanila, marami kami, meron kaming 10-year plan kasi. Part ng 10-year plan na yun was this project. Sabi ko, and then there is another one. That we have 2 big projects pa na niluluto. Pero tong isa na to, sabi ko, before I die, I need to do this. I wanna do this. Ito yung ultimate goal ko. And yan yung wish dyan sa the
Ano yun? Ano yun?
na secret.
Hindi sinasabi.
No, hindi pa.
Okay.
Pero malaking project.
How close are you to achieving?
Ang plan talaga namin noon is that we build it 3 to 5 years from now.
Okay. 3 to 5 years
Yeah,
from now. So,
from
you're
so
5 years.
medyo ganun talaga siya kalaki. Pero it's also Japan, related to Japanese.
Okay, punta naman tayo sa Dubai ng konti. Let's show some love to the UAE, no? How was it as a Filipino starting a business in Dubai? Baka kasi merong mga tao dito nag-iisip na mag-start. Gaano ka hirap, gaano ka challenging, and considering na nagkaroon ka ng experience building a business in the Philippines, how would you compare the two?
Ay, dalawa kasi dito sobrang supportive ng government in some cases. Or actually in most cases is very madali kasi medyo wala ng pasikot-sikot ba. Ang medyo mahirap or ang challenging lang doon is kasi syempre may language barriers.
Yeah.
Some of them, nag-Arabic, medyo hindi
Okay.
ka nag-Arabic. Hindi mo masyadong alam kung saan ka talaga dapat pupunta. Pero pag once na nalaman mo, kaya din naman meron talagang mga company na tutulong sa'yo to do that. Sila alam nila kung saan yung pasikot.
But it's very straightforward.
But very straightforward. I think ang main difference lang is that medyo mahal.
Medyo mahal ang getting in to get into
Yes,
the
oo,
business.
medyo mahal. Like kung yung let's say yung binigay namin dito, it could have been like 3 branches na back home,
Okay.
ganon. Yun lang medyo mahal lang, but everything else is maganda. Kasi nga supportive sila, like supportive ang Dubai government with the small businesses. Kaya din makikita mo sila, especially si Crown Prince, dadalaw talaga yan sa mga small startup business kasi gusto nila na masaya sila na imagine mo hindi nila kalahi na nagpuput up ng business into their country.
Yeah.
Kaya
Very supportive.
sobrang supportive.
Dumalaw na ba siya dito?
Hindi pa, yun nga ako di sa part yun na sana
So,
dumalo.
isang darong medalyan.
Oo naman, matik yun.
Oo,
May dalawang madali.
oh, nice. Oo. So, compared sa Philippines, sabi mo nag-start ka ng business sa Philippines. Bakit? Okay, nag-fail ka, but the process of creating a business, being an entrepreneur is success, failure. Diba?
Mm.
So, when it failed sa Philippines, ba't di mo naisip na, teka, mag-isa pa tayo, let me correct the mistakes, let me change some stuff and try again? Bakit hindi sa Pinas?
I think ang mahirap kasi sa Pinas, pag nagtayo ka ng business, you have to be there. Ang mistake namin noon, we weren't there. Meron lang ibang, tao doing the business for us, which is I think it will never hindi talaga mag-work 'yun. Even, kahit na kapatid, kamag-anak or mahirap kasi din I think it's a human nature or like pag hindi din ikaw yung namuhunanan, alam mo kung gaano mo kahirap kinuha yung puhunan na 'yon, hindi mo masyado siyang ma-appreciate na kung
Hindi mo siya magbibigyan ng same halaga.
same halaga. Yeah, I think yun yung main lesson namin during that time na hindi lang basta may pera ka, you know what, I'll do business, may pera naman ako then you know what, let it run. I think hindi siya masyadong mag-work. Maybe for some, congratulations kung may nag-work sa kanila, pero I think in general hindi siya masyadong mag-work. Kasi nga, yun, for the reason na hindi mo masyadong mabibigyan ng pahalaga compared to ikaw yung mismong nandun.
Okay. Compared to your life now as an entrepreneur, full-time ka na, no?
Yeah, full-time lang.
Full-time ka na. And compared now sa buhay mo as an entrepreneur and yung buhay mo as an OFW, an employee, what would you say main difference?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Like yung freedom na hindi mo kailangan gumising ng alas 8 or alas 7 kasi kailangan mong maging 9 o'clock nandun.
Okay.
Yung feeling mo na right now, challenges wise at saka work wise is hindi naman nagkakalayo. Kasi iba yung challenge itong part na to During the first 3 months, naghuhugas pa kami ng plato, nagbabas pa kami ng table.
Okay, talaga nagsiserve.
Yeah, tsaka naglinis kami ng toilet.
Okay.
Talagang umabot din sa ganung point na yun. Mas mahirap siya being employee. Pero I think sa akin ang best part doon is that ngayon kasi medyo okay na. Nakuha na namin yung mga staff na napagkakatiwalaan. So ngayon nakakalabas na kami. yung freedom namin na by 10 o'clock, let's say, yun, gusto mo mag-breakfast sa, somewhere. We have yung kahit na anong gusto mong gawin namin sa for as long as mamaya gagawin ko yung kailangan kong gawin, yung job ko,
Yeah.
pwede naman. I think yun ang best part sa akin.
Anong worst part?
Dahil sa ito yon sa'yo to, kahit umuwi ka ng alas 2, gigising ka pa rin ng alas 8, and then merong mga hiccups na yung building, or meron ka na namang permit na hindi ka raw sumunod, kailangan ka ma-fine, wala ka namang ginagawa, yung mga ganun. Then minsan, syempre, meron kang mga mamimit na mga medyo demanding ng konti than the usual. So pero syempre kung ikaw ay hindi yung understanding mo when it comes to that is kailangan mo talagang lawakan
Right.
kasi it's your business na eh.
Tsaka yung sense of accountability siguro much greater.
Oo, sobra kasi now kami mga empleyado, so meron talagang umaasa sa amin na part na yun. Like, yun yung responsibility mo, isa kanila din.
Yeah.
Dahil, empleyado mo sila, so meron silang, kailangan nila yung job, kailangan nila yung sahod, kasi meron silang binubuhay na pamilya.
Yeah.
And now, we have, 22 employees na.
22 na.
Yeah, so yung responsibility na yun is medyo, yun yung part na kailangan namin pagtuunan ng pansin.
Yeah.
So we always tell them that, kaming bahala sa empleyado, kaming bahala sa inyo, then kayong bahala sa customer.
Correct.
Kasi we believe na pag inalagaan mo sila ng gusto, hindi mo na kailangang i-demand na alagaan ng customer. Automatic naman yan.
Yeah.
And being dating employee is that alam mo yung struggle mo bilang empleyado.
Correct.
As much as possible, hindi mo maa-apply doon sa mga empleyado mo ngayon. Or mga natutunan mo noon bilang
You'd know better how to take care of your
yes.
your employees.
At saka, I think ang hindi masyadong natutunan ng mga tawag dito, yung mga employer, na pagka ikaw ay nakakuha ka ng Pinoy, na talagang matino, ay ilalaban ka niyan kahit basagan ng itlog, sabi nga nila.
Hindi, totoo.
Like, hindi mo kailangan mag-demand. Sila mismo yung gagawa.
I think Filipinos value loyalty so
Yes,
much.
correct. Oo, I mean, nagaling kami sa isang 14-year campus, sa isang company ng 14 years. So, ako I believe sa loyalty. I don't believe tao kasi is different yung drive nila eh. Merong someone, ang drive nila is money, which is nothing wrong with that. Gusto career, gusto title, gusto time. Ako, I don't judge yung mga, kasi lahat yung patay-patay. Kung ang drive mo money, then good for you. You need money, you have goals, then go for it. Ako kasi ang drive ko is loyalty and career.
Right.
Kaya nag-stick ako sa Sabi kasi nila, in reality, hindi ka talaga dapat mag-stick sa isang job for longer kasi yung value mo, hindi mo ma-maximize until the end. Ako hindi kasi ako naniwala doon. Mas naniwala ako doon sa
Now, nasabi mo yan, money, some are in it for the job. When it comes to Itcheryu, ano yung mga value, ano yung basihan mo ng success when it comes to business?
Yung success na ang masaya kasi is that every time nakakausap kami ng customer, yung feeling na nasiyahan sila, that they'll go back. For some, like let's say Japanese people, a lot of Japanese people na pumunta dito is that they actually felt there in Japan. Yun, sa akin, for me, it's a big
Feedback nila yun,
oo.
Wow.
Big deal yun kasi imagine mo yung na-design ko for someone make them feel na nandun sila sa bansa nila, is that it's really biggie for me. And meron isang Japanese from their government, the embassy. Sabi niya, pag bumalik ako dito, gusto ko nakakimono. Kasi you don't usually wear kimono unless the place is worth it to wear a kimono being there. Sabi niya yun.
That's the ultimate compliment.
Correct, yeah. And sa akin talaga, like, yun yung mga ko. Yun yung parang billboard ko sa Zigzayad moment ko, mga ganun.
Ang ganda, okay. More than the money, more than...
Yeah, more than the money. Kasi right now is, hindi naman, businesses din man, hindi din naman yan agad magpapan out. Marami talagang pero sa sitwasyon namin, I think we are fortunate enough to say that, in 7 months is that, I don't want to say it, pero, we're good. We're really, really good, more than that we imagine.
Lumalabas yung typical na humility ng Pinoy sa'yo eh. Nag-hesitate ka. Yeah, but call it as you see it. So you're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy is Nico?
11.
Wow, talaga?
Yeah, oo.
Talaga?
Oo.
With your life now, you're an 11.
Actually naman, more, even before it's Shiryu, even when I was, I am usually a happy person. Like,
Right.
every time I wake up, for me, it's always a blessing. And I always quote this in a movie. Nasabi ko nga, yun din kasi napansin ng mga kasama ko sa work ko dati. But why I'm always happy, even, stress sa work, stress sa deadline. Lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila, like, look guys, well, I have air in my lungs, I have a warm bed to sleep, and I have a roof over my head. And I am healthy. What more can I ask for? For me not to thank and treat it as a blessing every day. Yeah, you'll get struggle, you'll get, problems along the way. But what is life without the problems? It's like boring. Like imagine if I have this money and then I want to buy Lamborghini, then I'll go to the store, I'll buy Lamborghini. Like, where's the challenge? If I want to buy Lamborghini, I'm gonna save to do that, and then that's my goal. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you if you like watches, if you like shoes, you like bags. I mean, it's your happiness.
Yeah.
That's good. Then you aim to go that to aim to get that. Ang sa akin kasi is that, there are people na sick. They are only asking another one more day to live.
Oof, okay.
Pero ikaw, if you are so healthy, like, what else can you ask for? Like, I mean, money comes. Sure. I mean, up to you kung gaano ka kasipag, kung gaano ka madiskarte. It will always comes. Pero yung life, like blessing every day na yan, it doesn't. Like, one more day, it's so good. And then, pray again to have another day, and then another day. Like, one day at a time.
Ganda.
And I live my life like as if my last. Like, I always say I love you to my wife kasi I wouldn't know if I'm gonna say it to them tomorrow.
Correct.
Hindi ko alam kung ma-accidente ako later and I'm gonna die. Those kind of things. Kasi life, death is inevitable. Lahat tayo darating tayo dyan.
Starting off your day being thankful from with the life that you have, I think it's the best way to start your
Yes.
day. Kasi whatever happens, icing na lang eh.
Yes.
So, ang default mode mo, happy and thankful ka palagi.
Oo.
Yeah. Nakakatuwa naman yan. Now, punta tayo sa next level. No? Dito tayo sa Ichiryu. We just spoke about where you are right now. How do you see yourself in 10 years? Ikaw ba nasa UAE pa? Do you love this place so much that you'll spend 10 years more? Or nakikita mo yung sarili mo na the pull of home is too much na you will go?
Hindi naman. I think yes. Since meron kaming 10-year plan, I think we're still gonna be here another 10 years. And we can always go back and forth sa Pinas. Currently kasi ngayon, our mom is here. My wife mom's is here also. Medyo old na sila. And then most of, buong family is nandito na. So back home is that, we have friends, yes. Pero may properties kami. Pero I think, we're gonna be here for a while. We wanna buy farmland later on sa Pinas. And we wanna buy property in Japan. Pagka talaga sinuwerte.
Wow.
10 years is And Dubai is that I always treated Dubai, or UAE, sorry, as my next home. Like, UAE has always been good to us. Or to us especially, like, during the pandemic, inalagaan ka nila. Like, merong mga ambulansya dyan, here and there, you don't know what's happening. Pero, nandun ka pa rin sa iba I don't know how to explain it, but UAE is very, is very, very good place. Like, I don't know, it's my second home. I don't know how to describe it, but I love this place. As much as I love my back home, my Philippines. Yeah, and there is no perfect, country. You'll have things here and there, even back home, corruptions and poverty. You always have that. There is no perfect place. But home is home. Pinas is Pinas. Like, every time na laland ako sa airport, there is this certain smell, Pinas smell that makes me, I'm home. Some people might say, amoy imburnal, no, hindi. Meron siyang certain smell na I know I'm home. And your body, your soul, it starts to settle in and makes you really, really happy. And every time for the last 16 years back and forth, I feel the same way.
Hindi siya nagbabago?
Hindi nagbabago.
But Dubai is for you, has been your second home.
Yes, it's been our second home.
And it has done a lot for you.
Oo. malaki. Like, I think 3/4 yata ng buhay ko, o 1/4 yata is nandito.
Right.
Which is ang dami kong natutunan, madami siya tinurong lessons, especially working with lots of multicultural kasi nga eh. So, ang dami kong natutunan. Ako din gusto ko ang conversation when it comes to other cultures kasi gusto kong
Yeah.
intindihan yung pinanggagalingan
Correct.
nila.
Correct.
For some, hindi natin maintindihan yun kasi we grew up in this way. And then sila din is iba. Then I wanna understand that. Why some people in that culture are happier or iba yung perspective nila. And me and my wife loves to travel. So traveling taught us a lot of things.
Yeah.
Make us especially humble
Yes.
when it
And understanding.
And understanding.
Tolerant of other people.
correct.
Nakikita ko yung mga tao na mas patient, mas marunong umintindi. Sila yung mga well-traveled.
Siguro siguro din no kasi na-open up
So
yung
you see the context of life na yung perspective mo pag nakita mo sa ibang bansa,
yes,
you see how they do things because iba yung perspective nila.
correct.
So you form some sort of understanding and patience pagdating doon.
Totoo yan.
Now, something about Dubai. Do you think Dubai is gonna be big in the next 10 years?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think I think talaga ang hindrance and ang pinakaano lang talaga dito is the weather. Like every December, January, February, everyone thinks that if ganito lang ang weather ng Dubai the whole year, this place is gonna be like talagang, I mean, yun lang naman hiling mo kasi pag mainit,
Mahirap, no?
just me yung mainit talaga. Like yung summer sa Pinas, pagka sila, sobrang init dito, ay, iba talaga ang init. So yeah, I think it will. And UAE doesn't stop naman when it comes to doing things para mag-grow.
Just before we wrap things up, no, gusto ko lang tanongin, pwede ka ba mag-share ng isang darumadal mo? Your next level goal.
Ang next level goal ko talaga is that next big project namin eh.
So you have a secret project.
Yes, we have 3 projects incoming. 2 of those 3 is really big. Like big. I think pagka ito
Kaka-excite naman yan.
ay kahit kami. And tong idea na to, tong project na to, nabuo siya during the pandemic.
Okay.
So since I was working in an experiential agency, so there is no activations, nothing. So walang nangyayari. And kasi I don't usually, hindi ako sanay nung walang ginagawa.
Okay.
So kailangan, I'll do that for a one day without doing anything, just watching Netflix, I don't know. Like pero after that, kailangan ko nang may gawin, kailangan ko nang may stimulate yung mind ko, yung things ko. So nabuo tong idea na to 2018. Ganun na siya katagal, imagine 2000 na lang.
So matagal na siyang kumukulo.
Matagal na siya, oo, matagal.
Matagal na siya niluluto.
Ngayon naman, medyo palapit na siya. Meron ng I think next week kailangan ko na siyang i-develop more.
Oh wow, okay. So
Kasi,
it's moving.
Yeah. So, it's either it's gonna move fast, like, even us, hindi kami makapaniwala na nangyayari na, or the next, 3 years pa, 5 years. Pero yun ang isang goal sa Darumadal.
Nice. Big goals para kay Nico. Okay, quick questions tayo ha. Mabilisan lang. 3 words or less, best part of living in the UAE?
Safety, simplicity, and I think money is good.
Money is good. Safety, simplicity, and money. Okay, okay. Paboritong street food?
Betamax.
Paborito street food sa UAE?
Sa UAE. Ano nga ba yun? I don't know if you can call, kung street food ba ang egg parata na may Oman chips.
Yes, egg parata. And
I don't know if
Oman
that's
chips,
street-
egg
yeah.
parata and Oman chips.
Oman chips, I think, pinaka-favorite
Ang
ko yan.
basic ko yun, nag-aanap ako ng trabaho, yun ang breakfast ko palagi. Okay.
Buti nga ikaw, ako din.
Na-
Oman chips.
Gusto ko yan. Okay, bukod sa Ichiryu, ang paborito kong kainan ay
Off the hook.
off the hook.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Filipino only?
Yes, it's Philippines. Yun, ko doon. Like, ako hands down, meron akong cravings, like at least even once a month, talaga ida-drive ko just to go off the hook.
Off the hook. Okay. And kung may bagong dating sa UAE, saan mo siya unang-unang dadalhin?
Medyo I think I wanna do, dadalhin ko siya somewhere na kung disyerto ang wala. Ang pinaka difference nito is that, good thing is that we have the desert, like very, very Middle East part. And then in Dubai and in UAE is very futuristic. Like Japan. Japan is that meron kang ancient world,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like nature and ancient, and then you'll have this, 100 years advance. The rest of the world, same thing din naman sa Dubai. So I'll do the desert part, like the old cultural part ng Dubai. Ang favorite part ko actually, so isa sa favorite part ko ng UAE is yung Al-Sif. Kasi sobrang yung itsura niya is ibang-iba, sobrang homey talaga sa Middle East. Yeah, so doon ko siya dadalhin, and then next is dito dun sa mga, over the top na, tallest building in the world, and nakita mo, biggest mall, and para makita na yung both sides.
Okay.
And then I'll do the middle part,
Extremes muna.
Extremes muna. Actually, I'll do the extreme part. And do that during summer, para extreme talaga.
Ramdam mo talaga yung init just a minute. Oo, ma-appreciate mo yung...
Correct. Dali mo siya sa disyerto during the summer. Ito yung sobrang extreme.
Saka mo siya dalhin sa future.
Correct.
Nico, it's been an absolute pleasure. So, sobrang salamat.
Na?
Oo naman. Bilis na. Actually, I wanted to ask more. Hindi ko nga natanong yung marami kong mga tanong dito, but I really appreciate your time. Thank you sa mga insights.
You're welcome.
Tuloy.
I think isa na lang naman, ako lagi naman, ang pinaka-favorite ko kasi na part is that I always value time. Time for me is, more than anything else.
Yeah.
Kasi, depende whichever walks of life you are. Rich, poor, young, old, doesn't matter. We always use the same 24-hour time. Sa akin, for me, I value time so much that, I hate, I think ito yung Japanese culture na nakuha, na-adapt ko since I was young. I hate being late. I don't want to waste other people's time, especially waiting for me like 30 minutes late, 1 hour. Kasi that time, and my father always tells us that, like today is March 2, 10:30 a.m. It will never happen. 2024, it will never happen in your, kahit na anong mangyari, hindi naman.
Hindi mo na ma-recover.
Hindi na. So, and money, you can earn money, but time is that's it. Like, you can make it as an ally, you can make it as an enemy. It's up to you how to use it. Depende sa iyo kung paano mo siyang gagamitin. Nasa atin 'yun eh. I think ang ano talaga doon is that use your time really wisely. It doesn't matter if you wanna watch Netflix the whole day. It's okay for as long as you're happy and you don't waste other people's time. That's okay. If that's how you wanna spend your time,
life,
congratulations, that's okay. For as long as you're happy. Pero time is really, there are a lot of people that even rich, hindi sila sinave ng money nila.
Correct.
But time is anything na lahat ay pantay-pantay. So, ako yun ang sa akin yun ang pinakamalagang value ng is about time. Yeah, I think that's it. Ako din. Thank you for the opportunity.
Time is the best resource, ano?
Yeah.
If you learn, I think the secret based na sa sinabi mo is manage your time and then the rest will follow. Kasi time is very, hindi mo siya mare-replenish.
No, yeah.
Like this moment
Yeah, exactly.
that you spent with me is gone. It will not be able to re-experience it.
Yeah. I mean, yung money, you spend your money. Depende sa'yo. Kung gusto mo kumita, kikitain mo ulit yan. Time.
The driving force of Nico is his ability to recognize that time is the most important resource.
Yeah.
So if kanina may sinasabi ka na about your life, yung pagpa-plan mo, you're always, ngayon may 3 to 5 years ahead ka na mag-isip. When you were at work, you're always thinking about the next level. And I think that's another thing, no? Na there's always a next level in life. Katulad ng sinabi mo, stuck na ako eh. So I need to go to the next step. And I think that's what we want to encourage people, is to look within them and then figure out what the next level is for them. That's at least yung point ko is, by speaking to you, by speaking to the people that we will have in this podcast, ma-realize natin na we will be forced to ask the question, what's the next level for me? Yeah, that's the whole point, and this is why we're doing what we do. And there you have it, mga kaibigan. Nico de Guzman, successful entrepreneur, one of the founders of Itcheryu, and proud Filipino. No? Thank you so much again for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Na-enjoy ko, ha?
Ako din na-enjoy ko. Actually,
Time just flew by. Oh.
correct. First interview ko, na-enjoy ko din na as if, sabi ko nga, talaga ba? Tapos na.
Okay, kasi nag-worry ako baka pumasok yung ano eh.
Hindi pa naman.
Yung mga tao eh, no? And there you have it. Isa na naman episode ng Next Level Podcast. Again, if you enjoyed this podcast and you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe ka na ha, and like and comment para masaya. And if you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, leave a review, rate us, and hopefully 5 stars, no? Para mas ma-discover tayo ng iba pang mga listeners out there. Also, kung nakabase ka dito sa UAE, you can catch me as Andy Sal sa Tag 91.1, the only Filipino radio station in the UAE. Sabado at Linggo yan, 5 to 8 p.m. sa Tag 2020. I'll leave you for now, but I will see you in the next episode. Once again, you're listening to the Next Level Podcast, ang podcast tungkol sa mga Pinoys of Dubai. Syukran.
You're listening to
My Next Level Podcast.